Alright, so this is going to be the worst example ever, and I've kind of pre-set up my little workspace here. Let's pretend that this rectangle is our treasure chest, and that this circle that overlaps it, this is our lid, and we want to put slats along the inside curve of this lid. Okay, well, first we need to know, well, how thick is our material? Now, my material is usually about 5 millimeters thick. So in Illustrator, what I would do is like grab my circle, and nothing of this is measured right now. But let's go path, offset path, and I'm gonna give myself 5 millimeters. And I'm gonna give myself 5 millimeters, yeah, on the outside. Okay, so with that, now let's pretend that this little 20 by 5 millimeter rectangle is going to be what I want to connect all of my slats to along this inside curve. Well, moving this thing around, like just kind of copy pasting it and twisting it like this, well, that's gonna suck, and it's not gonna be smooth, clean semicircle on the outside face. It's not. So let's pretend that that is my slat. It's not going to be 20 millimeters, but let's pretend it is. However, let's go ahead and actually define the tab that holds the slat. Let's say, let's say it's 15 millimeters. And let's color it red so it stands out. And let's get it in this little rectangle. And let's color our slat yellow. So we need to get this thing replicated around here. And the easiest way that I know how to do that is with Illustrator's distort and transform tools. So I'm going to do it symmetrically. So I'm going to grab both these rectangles, and then I'm going to grab my outer circle here, and I'm going to just group them all so they stay together. And then I'm going to use Effect, Distort and Transform, go to Transform, and now I'm going to just duplicate these around the circle. I'm just going to make copies. Say 30, why not? Let's see what happens. And we're going to just go ahead and rotate these around. So 30 copies at a 12-degree intervals. I don't hate it. It represents kind of what we need. So let's go from there. Boom. So now I have these. Now they're not actually vectors. I still only have one actual circle that's a vector, and these two little red and yellow rectangles, and they're all a group. So our little rectangles or slats are there's some terrible gapping. So let's go ahead and double click this bad boy, get into isolation mode, and let's just hold down Alt, grab this path, and we're gonna move it. Because it's still one thing, we're just going to go ahead and scooch these out to where they will connect together. That's where they'll overlap, just on the tips right there. So now, let's pretend this is our outside slat work. So that's how all the facing is going to go. We're just going to have these little gaps. We love it. Cool, that's what we need. So exit direct select, click that bar, boom. But we still don't have actual vectors here. So let's grab our messy group, go up to object, and we're going to expand the appearance. Now all of this is actually been mathed and vectored. And we can see we're kind of close. Should have dragged them out a little bit more, and we can adjust from there if we were actually making it. So I got all this garbage now that I don't need. So we're going to go to object while we have everything. We're going to ungroup it. Make sure it's all ungrouped because there's going to be a few. Cool. I don't want any of this now, so let's get rid of it. That's actually like a bunch of lines. It's just been duplicated. And the same is actually going to be here, so because we duplicated this one, and as you can see, there's extras, so let's get rid of them. We don't want double lines when we're cutting stuff. I'm just going to grab that black one, the black circle. I'm going to put it back to the 5 millimeter offset it was, because that's what I want. And I don't need any of this other stuff, so let's actually just get rid of basically everything else I don't want. You know what? Those can go. We can get rid of those. Let's just go ahead and, for ease of everything, we'll just give me that, and we'll just make that our lid space. Cool. I don't want any of it. So in Illustrator, I'm just going to quickly grab the Shape Builder tool. We can use the Pathfinder stuff as well, but I'm just going to go ahead and remove all of this outer stuff. It's not part of what I'm focusing on, so we're just going to get rid of it. Get rid of all of this. I don't want it. I hate it. I hate that too. I hate this and that. Alright, the Pathfinder did some nasty stuff, so I'm going to grab the semicircle parts that I want to make one actual shape, all of them, and I'm going to Control J them. So now my black semicircle is a black semicircle. Oh, and we got parts left over because the Shape Builder tool is a jerk. But as long as you don't grab them, they're not going to be included, and we can delete them. Just remember to actually delete them. We can't really just merge this stuff together. We need to turn this outer semicircle into a solid piece with these red parts connected to it, so we can have where our slats go. But as you can see, because our slats are going to be straight, well, they're not going to really fit. Well, we're going to fix that. We're going to grab all the yellow ones. All the yellows. Click, click, click. There's probably different ways to do this. There's so many different ways to get the results you want in Illustrator. And I'm going to group all the yellow ones together. Control G, or Object Group, or whatever. And then I also want to grab my black semicircle. And I want to remove all of these overlaps, so that way the slats will fit snugly against that surface. So because they're all a group and they're in front of the semicircle, I can use the minus front tool in the Pathfinder options. So by doing that, all of those are gone, and now I've got all these beautiful little straight lines that the red pieces will act as the tabs for our slat work along that curve that we need. And to join them all together, if you did this correctly, you would grab like all of these. Let's just go ahead and move this out of the way and delete those because we don't want them. And now we should just have the black and the red lines, and we should be able to merge them together with the Unite tool in the Pathfinders, and it kind of worked. Alright, so because they weren't connecting properly, like their nodes are probably misaligned. Yeah, sure enough, like, well, they look right. Probably did something stupid. They're probably off by like a fraction. Boy, it's an easy fix. Let's just go ahead and make everything like that 1 point. And I mean, yeah, if you take the time to actually make sure what you need works. So like if you took this one and you know it's gonna cross over that line, well, we could have just expanded it in like that and then duplicated around a circle, and that would have guaranteed a smooth merger across all of them. But I mean, again, like there's so many different ways to approach how to do something in Illustrator. Like this is just how I do it, because I build everything like from the ground up, piece by piece like this. I just see the 3D part, and now this would be absolutely terribly thin and possibly breakable, but as you can see, we have the shape we need to put slats in.